I hope you're comfortably seated and you're doing well on this Tuesday morning. Grab a cup of coffee because today we are going to talk about a highly anticipated feature that once again will revolutionize animation in Unreal Engine. You'll be able to develop many hyper interesting workflows thanks to this latest addition, and the possibilities are enormous. So let's focus on the new retarget tool, the auto retargeting. Our star today is Mr. Vault-Boy. You've recognized him. The memories of Fallout, and on top of that, we have the series that just came out on Amazon Prime, and it looks really good. Before we dive into using and staging him, let me provide a bit of context on retargeting in Unreal. If you're familiar with the animation domain in Unreal, you know that retargeting was a powerful tool, often used to transpose animations from one skeleton to another, thus avoiding the need to reanimate our new skeleton manually. It could be a somewhat complex step with a lot of assets to create and adjust. 2 IK rigs, one for the source and another for the target, along with another asset, the IK retargeter, and all the configuration that goes with it. But thanks to our new retarget tool, the entire process is simplified, and that's worth its weight in gold. For this video, we'll be using animations from the Mixamo website. Our famous Y-bot will be our test subject, along with Mr. Vault-Boy. The first thing to do here to use auto retargets based on Mixamo is obviously to download a character via the website directly, and then an animation. Be sure to have your character in an initial T-pose, and avoid downloading an animation directly. Although Unreal will create the necessary assets for import, you might encounter issues during the retargeting process. So, the best practice with Mixamo here is first to download your character in a T-pose, then download the desired animations. For now, let's stick to a run and a walk animation. Make sure to check in place to facilitate adjustment and animation transitions afterward. To avoid having to uncheck the import mesh attribute during asset imports, here we can directly choose without skin to only download the animation database on the bot's rig. We're using a Mixamo character here, but know that Epic has worked on many other base rigs based on different software. It's with these presets that the auto retarget will really work in a few clicks. I'll show you an example shortly and see how to proceed if you use a custom rig, different from all these presets here. So let's return to our post-apocalyptic world and continue our tutorial. Now you can import via our content drawer the Y-bot from Mixamo. In the import settings, under the Advanced tab here, don't forget to enable the use T0 as ref pose attribute. Depending on the animation systems used, the ref pose may not be detected or may not use a system to define it properly. Here we're just stating that at time equals 0, we define our ref pose. Perfect! Now let's import our animations run and walk. Make sure you have the correct skeleton assigned here. Now for the most fun and magical part. To access and use the new automatic retarget tool, simply right-click on any animation sequence of the mesh that will be our source, and on which you want to retrieve the animations. Look a bit higher and click on Retarget Animations. I present to you the new revolutionary retarget window. But how does it work? Nothing simpler. You just need to specify the docket skeletal mesh here. Let's take a first example with the Unreal Mannequin here, by selecting the skm_mani assets. As you can see below, you have access to all the animations related to the skeleton of the source skeletal mesh. Double-click on one of the animations here, and voila! The job is done, the retarget is in place in a few clicks. If you're satisfied with the results, simply click on Export Animations, and you have a new asset, or an animation sequence, dependent on the target skeletal mesh. Everything is created automatically, and you receive the final asset, here the animation sequence. It's not more complicated than that if you stick to skeletons on which Epic devs have worked and adjust in detail for this tool. But how to proceed with meshes that aren't part of this preset then? Do we have to start over from scratch? Fortunately, not. Let's delve into all of these with our famous Mr. Vault-Boy. I've explored 2 workflows here. The first workflow using Actor Core IQ-Rig from Reallusion, and another one starting directly from Blender. If we focus on the latter, starting from Blender with our own rig directly, you'll likely encounter problems with the auto retarget. I started with a rig from scratch, but you get the same result if you use Blender add-ons, such as Rigify. I tried several setups and bond nomenclatures, but the result is almost the same, as you will see. Be sure to rename your bonds properly. Then after a quick automatic parenting and waiting, our Vault-Boy is all set. The same step as before, this time we'll import our character in T-pose. It will be our target mesh, towards which we'll transport the animation from the Mixamo character. I go back to one of the animation sequence of our Y-bots, and after right-clicking, I select Retarget Animations again, specify the target skeletal mesh with our Mr. Vault Boy skeleton. If we double click on one of the animation of our Y-bots, we'll get a somewhat surprising result. That's what happens when you go off the beaten tracks. This will allow us to dissect our auto retargets in detail. Indeed, earlier we directly chose the export animation option because our retarget was successful. Here, this is not the case at all, but that doesn't mean we're stuck. In fact, deep down, our automatic retarget tool will actually create the 3 assets we talked about at the beginning of this video, namely the IK rig of our source mesh, the IK rig of our target, and the IK retargeter. We'll simply have access to these when we choose the export retarget assets here. Note that for more advanced use, you can also choose to use your own retargeter asset if you wish. After specifying a saving path, you'll find these 3 famous assets already built. The IK of the source skeleton presenting everything we need, from the definition of the retarget routes to all the well-defined and set up retarget chains through the IK goals and solvers. Just that, we saved a lot of time. The IK retargeter will present us with the 2 IK assets, gather them, and try to match the 2 sets of retarget chains of each skeleton, source and target, and we can adjust them to our liking via the IK goal. Here, as you can see, at the level of our target skeleton, not everything was detected, and that's why we have these weird results. So we need to focus on the IK asset of our Mr. Vault Boy. You can find it in your content drawer or directly here via the IK retargeter assets. Here you see that I only have these 2 retarget chains. Unreal can't detect the rest. A good indicator to better pinpoint the problem is to use the AutoQH retarget chains. This is the process used in the background when using auto retargets. Here we have direct access, and if you launch it and don't get a conclusive result, you can be sure that the problem lies in the fact that Unreal can do things automatically regarding your custom rig. It's not dramatic at all, because in a few clicks, you'll be able to recreate all the missing retarget chains. Oh, don't forget to re-specify your retarget routes if it wasn't detected correctly. If your bound nomenclatures are well done, your retarget chains will quite easily assign the corresponding names automatically. So, select all the bounds necessary here to set up a new retarget chain. Right-click, click on New Retarget Chain, and that's it. Do it for your entire character. Don't worry if you make a mistake on the start or end of the chain in question, we'll always be able to adjust it afterward. From legs to the spine to fingers, everything goes. Then we'll be able to return to our IK retargeter assets. Be careful, this one doesn't update automatically. You have to come back and specify the corresponding chains with our source via the chain mapping tab. Little by little, our character will adjust with the animation of our source. If you encounter problems like here, you may need to redefine the start or end of certain chains. Just go back to your IK rig source and adjust the chains. Back to your retargeter, you'll see the difference. You can also manually add IK goals and solvers on your targets to further adjust your animation on your retargeter. Once all your adjustments are made, you'll be able to select in the asset browser the animation to use and click on Export Selected Animations. And there you go. Everything is ready, and all you have to do is to download all the animations, and your character with your own rig is ready. The second workflow I explored is using IQRig from Realision. It's free, it's fast, and it's great. Even more precise than Mixamo, obviously. You have a very large database of animations, and some of them are free too. I'm curious to try out the other tools they offer. They can greatly facilitate the entire creation and animation process, whether for realistic characters, stylized ones, or creatures. After installing the software, I simply imported our dear Mr. Vault Boy and followed very simply and quickly the 5 main steps to automatically rig my character down to the smallest details. Once everything is set up, I can quickly test my rig via preview motion and then export my new fully rigged character asset. Back on our scene, we can repeat the same steps as before based on the Mixamo character. Right-click on an animation sequence to access the retarget tool, and after selecting the target and an animation, in just a few clicks, my retarget works and it's fully functional. Remember, Realition iClone type skeletons have been designed and worked on by Epic devs to be as simple as possible. Thanks again, guys. All that's left to do is to shop for animation on Mixamo, retarget them directly in Unreal in a few clicks, and then set it up on our scene with some sequencers, for example. We could even go further to refine our animations by creating a control rig for our Mr. Vault Boy, either from scratch for the more experienced, or by using the brand new modular control rig tool that was delivered to us with this super version 5.4. And you know what? I've already made a video about that. Don't hesitate to watch it, as well as the one about the layered control rig. That way you'll master animation in Unreal like never before. Also, don't forget that in about a month, Unreal will release a pack of over 500 AAA quality motion capture animations that we'll be able to use in our projects. It's now or never to dive into animation with Unreal. The future looks promising, believe me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it has helped you explore in detail the auto retargeting tool freshly released in this 5.4 version of Unreal. Thanks for your support, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Bye!